Long muzzle. Not weevil. Weevils can be considered specialized beetles. They have a very long snout, and their body shape is strange. Their long snout is very narrow and curved. In females, the length of this snout is equal to the whole body. This long, curved nose is an adaptation so that females can dig deep holes in hazelnut fruits and lay eggs inside. The shape and size of the snout of weevils vary greatly from one species to another. Many weevils have a strange appearance. There are many bright colors, strange patterns, and hair-like appendages. There are many different types of weevils. For example, the blue weevil is found in the tropical rainforests of New Guinea. The blue weevil is covered with tiny scales that make it appear bright blue-green under the sun. The red palm weevil is also one of the many species considered pests of agricultural products. The larva of this weevil creates deep holes in the palm's trunk, eventually killing the tree. Laurinus weevil, like many other weevils, is known only by its scientific name, Laurinus starnus. The hairy body of the Laurinus weevil is decorated with bright yellow spots. This weevil lives in the meadows and bushes of Europe. Nut weevils are also one of several closely related species that have evolved to bore holes in hard fruits. The nut weevil spends almost its entire life on the hazelnut tree. Adult weevils live on hazelnut leaves, and females lay eggs on hazelnut fruit. The larvae feed on the fruit of the hazel and leave the end of the larval period on the ground to turn into an adult willow. Super slim body. The violin beetles. Many tiny creatures live under the dead leaves of trees to avoid the eyes of birds that hunt them. But this issue does not apply to those living in Southeast Asia's forests. In this area, a creature called the violin beetle lives, adapted to hunt small animals under the foliage of trees. Relying on its flat and narrow body, this beetle quickly crawls and moves among the rotten leaves. He inserts his narrow head into the holes and traps the small insects that live there. He uses his long and sensitive tentacles to navigate in absolute darkness and traps the prey with his sharp, curved jaws. This beetle is also called the purple beetle. The front wings of the violin beetle are wide but, at the same time, very thin. So thin that it is almost transparent. For this reason, it isn't easy to recognize this beetle in the layers of leaves on the forest floor. Fairy fly. This insect got its name from its delicate appearance and small size. A fairy fly is a small bee considered the smallest flying insect in the world. Fairy flies are so small that they can ensure the survival of their generation by laying eggs inside the eggs of other insects. When the children hatch, they feed on the same eggs placed inside them until puberty. Adult fairy flies are very short-lived. Many do not even feed and think only about mating and reproduction throughout their lives. There is a species of this insect in Costa Rica, the smallest insect in the world. Although some fairy flies have very short or no wings at all, most have strange wings with long hairs protruding from the edges. It seems that these wings are not useful for flying, but flying in these tiny creatures is entirely different, and these flies can fly well.